Okay. For the podcast, today's topic is learning from failure, turning setbacks into opportunities. So, my first question is, what is failure? How will you describe it?
Failure. It's when the result doesn't match the goal you were aiming for. It's that gap between what you intended and what happened. It feels messy, sometimes embarrassing, maybe even painful, but it's also just information, like feedback telling you what didn't work this time. It's not a verdict on your worth. It's more like a marker on the past saying, all right, not here.
Okay, why do people fear failure?
Hmm. A lot of people link failure to shame. Like, if I fail, people will think I'm incompetent or I wasted time or opportunity. That fear gets amplified by social comparison, too. Nobody wants to feel behind. But beneath that, it's often about losing a sense of control. Failure reminds us that we can't fully script outcomes.
Okay, how can failure teach us?
Well, failure teaches by making the weak spots visible. It shows you where your plan had assumptions that didn't hold up, or where timing or communication or skills need work. If you pause and analyze what actually happened, you can pull out specific lessons instead of just the big, I messed up.
How does
Over time, that
failure,
builds,
yeah, okay. How does failure make us stronger?
well, failure makes us stronger by forcing us to adapt. You learn to sit with discomfort without running from it. You figure out what needs adjusting, and you realize that mistakes aren't fatal, they're survivable. That builds confidence slowly. Like, oh, I can get through that. Over time, that builds a track record that makes you braver, you take smarter risks, and you recover faster.
Okay,
Strength here isn't loud, it's steady.
okay. Can failure lead us to success?
Definitely, but usually indirectly. Failure exposes what doesn't work, which clears the fog a bit. Then you refine, pivot, or try a new approach. Success usually comes after a couple of rounds of adjustment. It's like failure helps prune the dead ends so your effort goes somewhere smarter. It's rarely glamorous, but it works.
How should we react after failure?
First, take a breath. Don't rush to fix or explain. Give yourself time to feel it. Then ask simple questions. What part actually didn't work? What was in my control and what wasn't? After that, pick one small concrete adjustment for next time. Just one. That keeps it doable. And if
Okay.
emotions spike again, that's normal. Just notice it, breathe. Then,
Hmm. Okay, why
yeah,
is learning from mistakes important?
well, it's important because repeating mistakes blindly just burns time and energy. Learning turns those same errors into reference points. So next time, decisions are less guessy. It's the difference between drifting and actually steering. Without that learning piece, failure is just pain. With reflection, it becomes usable experience.
How can failure build confidence?
Hmm. When you fail and survive it, you prove to yourself that mistakes don't end you. Each time you recover, you reinforce that resilience. Confidence comes from evidence. Like you've already handled hard things before. So future discomfort feels less threatening. It's not fake bravado, it's grounded trust in your capacity to adjust and try again.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the difference between failure and giving up?
Um, Failure is an event, like a single moment or result. Giving up is a decision. And failure just says, this attempt didn't work. Giving up says, I'm done trying. You can fail many times without giving up. The key difference is staying curious long enough to extract the lesson and then adjust. Giving up cuts that loop short, so no lesson gets pulled out. One is feedback, the other is exit.
Okay.
Hmm.
Why should we never lose hope after failure?
Because failure isn't the end of the story, it's just a chapter. As long as you're still willing to adapt, there's room for progress. Hope is the fuel that keeps you moving. Without it, effort feels pointless. But with hope, even small steps feel meaningful. And honestly, most successes look like a string of managed failures. Hope keeps that chain unbroken.
Okay. How can setbacks create new opportunities?
Well, setbacks can clear space. Maybe a plan falls apart, but that opens a chance to rethink the approach, learn a new skill, or stumble into a direction you hadn't considered.
Why is a positive mindset important after setbacks?
Because it keeps you from assuming the worst about yourself or the situation. It helps you see options that pessimism hides. And that outlook tends to attract better energy and better problem solving. It's not pretending everything's fine, it's choosing to believe things can get better and then taking a step.
Okay, so my last question is how can we turn every setback into a new opportunity?
Hmm. Well, start by naming what actually went wrong, plainly, no drama. Then ask, what parts were within my control and what parts weren't? From the controllable bits, choose one tweak. then test it. From the uncontrollable bits, extract the lesson and move on. Celebrate tiny wins. Seriously, those compound. Over time, this mindset turns setbacks into checkpoints, not dead ends.